Advanced algebraic factorisation. So we're going to factorise these examples, and we'll start with this one here. So 15a cubed take away 9a squared b. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down each term. 15 and 9 are the coefficients, and both of those are multiples of 3. 3 is the highest common factor of those two numbers. So I'm going to write the first term as 3 times 5, and then the a cubed I'm going to break into a squared and a. The a squared chosen because of this a squared here. And then the next term I'm going to write as 3 times 3 times a squared times b. Now let's look for what's common, i.e. what's in both terms. Well, certainly we have a 3 and an a squared. We can see that in both terms, and there's nothing else that's in both terms. So the stuff that's in both terms, I'm going to write that in front, and then I'll open a bracket. Now let's just take out completely the stuff that's in both terms, and then what's left? I've got 5 times a, which we write as 5a. Then I've got a minus sign, and 3 times b, which I write as 3b. And then that's completely factorized. So let's move to the next example just here. So 12 and 15, the two numbers, the highest common factor there once again is 3. So I'm going to write the 12 as 3 times 4. Now, looking at what we have, I'm going to write this x cubed as x squared times x. And I'm going to do the y as just y squared. And then we've got a minus sign, and then the 15, we'll do that as 3 times 5. The x squared just stays as x squared. And the y cubed I'm going to write as y squared times y. Now, let's look for what's in both terms. We can see there's a 3. We can see there's an x squared. We can see there's a y squared. So in front of the bracket, I'm going to put 3 x squared y squared. Then I'm going to open my bracket. And if we've taken those things out, let's see what's left. So here I've got 4 times x, so I'll write that as 4x. I have a minus sign, and then I have 5 times y. Now the third example is a little bit harder to spot in terms of the number, but make a note that 3/4 is a half times 3/2. Alternatively, 3/2 is twice 3/4. Now this might be the better one to use. 3/2 is 2 times 3/4. So what I'm going to do is write this as 2 times 3/4, and then just looking at what we have in terms of letters, I'm going to write the a squared as a times a, and then I've got the b, and then I've got add 3/4. Now 3/4 is just 3/4 times 1, and then I'll write the a just as a, and the b squared as b times b. Now let's look for what's common. So we have a 3/4, we have an a, we have a b. So I'm going to put 3/4 a b in front of a bracket, and let's just completely remove those like so. What have we got left? We've got 2 times a, so that's 2a. We've got a plus sign, and we've got 1 times b, which of course algebraically we just write as b, and then that's completely factorized. We could have used this. The reason I didn't is that in front here we would have ended up with 3/2, and then we'd have had a fraction inside the bracket, and I thought it was better to not have a fraction inside the bracket. Now with this one, I'm going to rewrite as 3/a, and then I'm going to break the x squared into x times x, the y squared into y times y, and the z obviously is just a z. Then we've got plus, and I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to write 3/a. Then we're going to multiply that by x, multiply by y, and the z squared I'm going to write as z times z. And then we look for what's common. Well, 3/a is in both. We have an x in both. We have a y in both. And we have a z in both. So 3/a, x, y, z can be brought in front of a bracket. And let's see if we just cross everything out that's the same, what we have left. So here I've got x and y. X times y we just write as xy. Then there's the plus sign here, and then I've just got a single z. Now here, they're both 9s, but I'm going to write the first 9 as 9 times 1, and that will become apparent shortly. Now looking at these powers of a and b, they're both higher than they are here. So let's leave this as a to the 4, and then b to the 8, and then we've got 9. It doesn't matter if you write a times 1 on this one. And the a to the 5 I'm going to split into a to the 4 times a, and then the b to the 9 I'm going to write that as b to the 8 times b. So look for what's common. We've got a 9, we've got an a to the 4, and we've got a b to the 8, and I think you can see now why I've written the 1 here, because it's the only thing left in this term. So we've got 9, a to the 4, b to the 8, open a bracket. So let's take those things out. What have we got left? Here we've just got a 1 left, then you've got a minus sign, and then we've got a times b. Now, 24 and 16 have a highest common factor of 8. So 24 is 8 times 3, 16 is 8 times 2. So I'm going to write this one. Notice both denominators are c cubed. I'm going to write this one as 8 over c cubed multiplied by 3, so the 8 times 3 gives us our 24. And then looking at what's available with the a's, I'm going to write a to the 4 as a cubed times a, and then the b cubed just as b cubed, and then we've got plus, and then I'm going to write 8 over c cubed and multiply that by 2, which gives us our 16. The a cubed I'll write as a cubed, and the b to the 4 I'm going to write as b cubed times b. So let's look for what's common. We've got 8 over c cubed, we have an a cubed, and we have a b cubed. So those things can go to the front. 8 over c cubed, and then we've got a cubed, b cubed. We could put those all on top of the fraction like that, and open a bracket. So let's get rid of those common things and see what we have left. Well, here we've got 3 times a, so that's 3a. We have a plus sign, and we have 2 times b.